Hello KPOA members. What we have here is a view of the Kala Heights Bluff, vintage about 2006, where there's been indiscriminate tree trimming with the intent and purpose of view maintenance. It's quite extensive, covers a large area, and there we see a madrona that's essentially a stick. And also an attendant problem, in addition to this unauthorized view maintenance, is the fact that grass has been planted right up close to the crest of the bluff. This is a problem because it promotes erosion of the bluff crest. And this was identified in 2005 in the bluff management plan that was presented to the board as one of the long-term recommendations is to fix this problem and to include natural vegetation. Well, sort of as usual, nothing has happened. That board didn't do much with the recommendations. As a matter of fact, the very first long-term recommendation was to have a geotechnical evaluation of all the bluffs. It's now 2011. I guess they're finally getting around to it, and that was after issues in the north sector with the BMAC process. Here's the significant issue about this. Is first of the view maintenance is taking place unauthorized, and that has the potential of doing some serious damage to the bluff. This is not the only location in the north sector. As a matter of fact, at the very north end, individuals were found to have really cut some alders in the interest of view maintenance. This is a serious problem because where the alders were cut was in an area that's a known landslide feature. We had a landslide here that predates into the 50s, somewhere around the 1950s. So there's a problem, and there's a problem that we have rules and regulations that say, Article 2A 6B, that you shall not do any of this cutting on the bluff. And you know what? If it's a rule and regulation, you can be fined for it. Both of these instances the board is aware of, and nothing has happened. Nothing has come out of the pipeline. And typically we hear, oh, it was a misunderstanding. Well, there's certainly no misunderstanding if it's in the rules and regulations. You know, ignorance of the law is no excuse. So why is this coming to the front now? Well, I have submitted a resolution for the management of stormwater, and there are two elements that are connected with that. One is the use of tight lines, which are pipes that go over the bluff. And the second is the fact that we have these grass areas that go right up to the crest of the bluff. Now, there are homes that were built post-2000 that have some specific permit restrictions that require a 30-foot vegetable buffer, natural vegetable buffer from the crest of the bluff in towards the property. So the concern of the resolution is that there is no process to routinely inspect these bluffs for issues such as the unauthorized do-it-yourself view maintenance, and also the issue of tight lines and the possibility that they're leaking. As a matter of fact, the most recent tight line, there is a specific requirement to the owners and all future owners that the tight lines be regularly maintained, which includes an inspection process. So the county is making these requirements, and the fact is these tight lines are emanating from private property over the bluff face out into Port Townsend Bay. One of those tight lines fails given some of the significant rainfall events, and I should mention a significant rainfall event is over 1 inch of rain in a 24-hour period. And we've had 14 such events since the early 1990s. As a matter of fact, one case it was several inches. And you only need to look at recent times with regard to the rainfall. This past September 2010, the rainfall in September was 72% larger than the 20-year average for September rainfall. So there are situations that occur, and in the Puget Sound area, they have correlation that 90% of the landslides occur when you meet this criteria of 1 inch in 24 hours, or 1.5 inches or 2 inches over a several-day period. So while each day may not meet the 1 inch criteria, in aggregate they do. These events occur, and we should have the board being held to the significant issue of bluff stewardship. And just somehow it's very difficult for this board or prior boards to put their arms around it. They just seem to have difficulty and doing the things that they need to do. So I will venture to say not many KPOA members know about what's been done to the bluffs here by some of the owners, and the fact is that this is not something that should be taken lightly and just call it a misunderstanding. So we have do-it-yourself view maintenance. We have grass planted up to the crest of the bluff. Matter of fact, a certified consulting arborist provided a report in 2006 that says, don't do that. It's a problem. You need to do something different. And somehow this information never gets acted upon. So I'm asking that the stormwater management resolution be advanced by the board and that members vote on it, because it also says those who do damage to the bluff should pay for it. For instance, there may be some remedial work required up in the north sector,